So our project is Haiku For You, a program that is meant to generate a haiku based on user input.
Generally, we wanted to make a program that would generate a 3-line haiku that made some kind of grammatical sense uh, from a word chosen by the user.
We were paying attention to the syllable count of a word and also its relationship to a bunch of other words in order to make a haiku have grammatical and make sense.
And that was one of the biggest challenges. We originally wanted to structure the program so that the user could come up, give us any word, and we would be able to generate haiku based off of that. But we could not find a free resource that would provide us with the full English language. So we ended up only being able to use a list of 600 words with their related words, which limited us in some ways, but we were still able to make it work.
Yeah, we found a list online of collocates, which are essentially lists of similar words, and from there we generated like these pools from which to draw to make the haikus.
One of our biggest problems as a result of the limited words was we, even with the 600 words, we still didn't have at some time an exact word, a word that had a syllable, the exact syllable that we wanted, and was also related to the word we were looking for.
And the right part of speech.
And the right
Yeah.
part of speech. Well.
Because we ended up getting around the limited, in some ways, the limited list of words by giving the user a choice, a list of words that we generated that we had the related words for, and also having 6 different haiku formulas for the user to pick, and then for whichever formula they chose, we had code that would generate a haiku that fit that exact formula, syllables, and part of the speech.
Yeah, so I guess we should take a look at the code.
Yeah.
Yay!
So first we're looking at now the function that starts off in the user interface. Basically, these first like 6 functions here all do pretty much the same thing. They're all related to the checkboxes for the templates for haikus, and they return true if the checkbox has been clicked.
And then we have this function that checks which checkbox has been selected by the user, checking which haiku the user has chosen for, or which template they have chosen for their haiku. And if no haiku template has been selected, then it returns an error. And if more than one haiku template has been selected, it also returns an error. We can show.
Yeah, I was highlighting those. So yeah,
very
basically
fun.
it comes up with a list of Boolean values for each check button, and if there's more than one true in the list, then it'll throw up an error saying that, oh no, more than one template has been selected.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it'll go through and check which ones have been, which one has been selected, and then
from there call that.
Yeah, just call the whole.
Call the correlating haiku template.
Yeah.
While also sending the chosen word that the user chooses from our drop-down box.
Yep.
Or selected chosen words.
So also we made a cancel function just to exit the program.
At the user's whim.
Yep. Pretty simple.
So these state variables just take the checkbox's state and turn it into either a 0 or 1. For 0 being has not been selected and 1 being has been selected.
One of the features we added was an author box where this choice var variable is
We can edit that out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, oopsie. Yeah, sorry, I'll just like edit that part out. And choice variable is the word that the user chooses, which turns it into a string and sends it to are the formula that's chosen, the haiku that's chosen.
Yeah, this choices variable is essentially just the list of words that we have available, and then the drop-down list is made up of those words.
And then we added a feature just for the user to be able to plug in whatever author, whatever name they wanted as the author box. So to turn that into a string.
The rest of this is just kind of
Just graphical interface.
yeah,
Not super interesting, but very necessary.
yeah, it's all just placement and creation of like buttons and things, like frames and labels and like where everything is. And like here you've got the 6 different buttons for the templates, and you know
The label for the different instructions or for generate haiku.
The generate haiku button, which is a very, very important button. We also have a surprise button.
You find out later in class.
Yeah, you'll find out if you come to class.
Please do.
Please do. It's great.
Yeah, it's a good surprise.
And this is just the entry box and the drop-down menu.
And then we have placements. We organize things by frames.
Yeah, essentially they're just placed into different frames on the window. So here is the fun part.
Let's move on
Yay,
to
the actual code. We'll start.
Well, here in our initialization, we have initiated a list of words, which are the 600 words that we use, and those 600 words are mapped in. God, I don't know how to say it. Have a thing called collocates, where each word has a group of words that are related to that word.
And each group of words is has the same destination in self.collocates as that word does in self.wordlist. So self.collocates is essentially just a list of word lists.
That's another word. And then also back to the error that Shakira mentioned at the beginning, we added some verbs and some adjectives of certain syllables to get around the issue of not having similar words that fit the right part of speech and the right syllable that we wanted for certain words in our different haiku formulas. Just because for some reason, some of these verbs are very simple, and so they may not show up in a similar list for some obscure words. And so, in order to stop the maximum recursion error, which is what we were getting, we needed
we
to.
ran into that quite a lot.
We cheated a little bit, but these are it's kind of an exception, a catch-all.
Yeah, they're the corner cases essentially.
And then the next is the parse syllables function. And so this is just a function to count. We use it later to tag all the words with their syllables. It counts based on the number of vowels in a word. So for every vowel in a word, it increases the syllable count by 1, except for the exception of when a word ends with E, because that E is silent. And then it subtracts 1 syllable from the syllable count. But then it adds it back on if the end of the word is LE, because that is pronounced as a sound syllable. And if the syllable count is 0, it updates it or adds 1 for that exception.
The next 2 functions are pretty related. You've got tag, which essentially is the part of speech tagger. It's actually from the NLTK Python module, which is, I guess, the language processing module. It returns inside of a list a tuple of the word given as a string and its part of speech. And similar is, or at least in our final function, the word parameter is the user's choice. It takes that word, finds the destination of the word in the word list, and then from that destination finds the list of similar words from the collocates list. And then there's this little bit of code which is pretty nice because it actually takes the tag for that word and also combines it with the syllable count, so you end up with a list of similar words that are tagged with their part of speech and the syllable count.
Get noun takes as parameters. Also, get noun, get verb, get adjective does the same things. Just for according to the different parts of speech, they have the big list of 600 words, and they take parameters of the big list of 600 words and the syllable count. And what it does is it takes a random word from our big list of 600 words, checks if it's a noun, a verb, or an adjective, or a preposition, whichever part of speech it's needed, and then also checks the syllable. And if that desired syllable count is if the desired syllable count is found, then it returns that word. Else it keeps searching again.
Yeah, so this is maybe not the most efficient way we could have implemented our search, because it looks for a word until it finds the right word. But sometimes it could take at most it could have to go through all of the words in these similar pool until it finds a word, and hopefully it does.
Luckily, the similar pools aren't incredibly large, but
Yeah.
still.
But that's, I think, the biggest flaw is we do want the haikus to be random. We don't want them to use the same words often, and so there wasn't a smart way to structure the similar pools so that it could be random, but also have faster searching time.
Yeah. The only differences between the get adjective, get verb, get noun, and the get preposition and subconjunction and coordinating conjunction is that we had to include the lists in those functions because these words weren't in the larger list of 600 words. But other than that, these functions do exactly the same thing. They take a random word from the given list and tag it, check the tag, then they check to see if the syllable count matches the desired syllable count given in the parameters, and they return the word if the syllable count matches. And then you've got get word, which is essentially just the overarching function that calls on each get noun, get verb, get adjective, and all of that.
So now we have our 6 different generate haiku functions. So they all work pretty much the same way. We chose 6 different haikus written by relatively famous poets to give our users some options. And each one works by pulling from the word list an adjective, a noun, article, noun, whatever part of speech with the right syllable count if desired, and so for each word in the haiku, finding a word from the word list that matches its part of speech and syllable count, and then putting that into a list and returning the haiku.
When it returns, it also adds a fourth line with the author variable, which is the entry var .get. So it also, when it comes out and in the message box with the full haiku, there's also a little dash author's name at the bottom, which is a nice little touch.
Yeah,
very personalized. So I think that's pretty much it for our code. I mean, all of the generate haiku functions pretty much work the same, just with different formulas, different different syllable counts and parts of speech. So I guess now we will demonstrate the actual program.
Yeah. And the haikus are surprisingly meaningful. I mean, some of them are very abstract, but I at least relate.
So
as good as any modernist poem.
I'm gonna pick my favorite one for the. This is my favorite template because it's so short. It comes with the best. Let's see. Battle. I like battle. Let's pick battle. I'm gonna throw in my name here, the author, and click generate haiku. And it does take a little. It takes like, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, but there we go. A draw runs the warrior, long running. As you can see, it's more abstract than a lot of these are in the templates, but it still does make some sense, and the words are all clearly related to each other, and the parts of speech are
I
correct.
feel like there's some literary analysis that could definitely be done here.
They're a little bit modernist,
We'll leave that
but
up to you. Yeah.
should we do another one, or is that good?
We could each.
All right.
Okay, I am going to pick the overripe sushi. The master is full of regret because I chose that. The author is Nora, and Bailey actually pointed out that boyfriend returned some really good haikus. So
Oh, it
let's
does.
see what it comes up with. Current gangster, the girlfriend runs since gun.
Oh,
Ooh,
all right.
deep.
That one got dangerous, pretty dark.
Oh yeah.
All right, Shakira.
I like Over the Wintry. Ooh.
Ooh, hello.
Whoa.
That's my dashboard. Fun times.
And I guess here you can see, ooh, oh no, I picked 2.
Oh no, Shakira picked 2. I wonder what will happen if you pick 2 different things at the same time and click generate haiku. What's this? An error. More than one template has been selected. So that was also convenient. Also, if you click none of the templates and try to generate a haiku, it will eventually come up with an error. It takes a bit longer because it also has to run through all of the things, each different template, to see whether it's been clicked, but it does come up with an error saying you haven't selected the template. So, go for it.
Let's follow through with the haiku. That was a rhyme right there.
There we go.
I'm gonna pick enemy. See what that brings
Ooh.
up.
Enemy. Dangerous. I like it. The commentary.
Between a vanquish, detect spot is pass face. From bad deep on is.
You're a
That
true
was
poet.
Wow. That was deep.
Yeah, so now that we've outsourced poetry.
Yeah. So basically that was our program. We have the surprise button, which you should definitely be looking forward to seeing in class.
Yes.
And we really enjoyed working on the project. It was really fun.
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying all of the poems that it's created. I've developed a relationship to this program.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty proud of the results.
Beautiful
Yeah.
poem.
So, thanks a lot for watching.
Bye.